Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the South Fork. As Unitarian Universalists, we come together in worship each week to honor what is of worth. In this hour, we pause the everyday rush and flow of our lives in reverence and thanksgiving, to connect with what is sacred, to remember our commitments to each other and the world. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your name for the sacred, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are very welcome to bring your full self here. My name is Sue Penny. I am a member of this congregation and a worship associate. And we are so happy to have Eda Lorella with us this morning. Eda has spoken before to our congregation, and we've heard her amazing journey following her calling as a young child, raising a family, and Mary is one of her daughters, is here, and then following through on that commitment to herself to become a Roman Catholic priest. So more on that if you'd like to hear from Eda later, how she did that. And she had a home ministry where she had people meet in her house and provided Mass, which had to stop during the pandemic. So sorry to hear about that part of Eda's journey. But thank you very much for being here this morning and speaking to us about faith. As always, we're so grateful to our team who helps do this every week. We have our wonderful musician with a lot of fun music this morning, Stephen Skolberg. Thank you, Stephen. Yes. We have Carl Wittenberg on the tech and Monica Cesada on the camera. Thank you to all who contribute. There is live transcript and hearing assisted devices if anyone should need them. It's a good time to silence our devices. And we welcome children to the sanctuary, although unfortunately Kim is ill this morning, so we'll figure that out as we go along if we need to. There is choir practice today at noon. Next week, we will have Mark Potter and Kent Martin with Reflections on Thanksgiving. You can find more information about how to connect to events in your e-bulletin and on the events calendar on the website. So wherever you are joining us from, either in the meeting house or on Zoom in your home, we invite you to settle into this sacred hour, free from distractions. I'm wondering if we have any visitors this morning that would like to introduce themselves. And I already started introducing Mary, Eda's daughter, and I found out Mary ran the folk music program at Stony Brook for, at their UU fellowship for a number of years. So, and you're going to hear her perform this morning with us. She got roped into it. Yes. So thank you, Mary. Is there anyone else that would like to introduce themselves, possibly on Zoom? Okay. We hope you'll join us after worship in person in the meeting room or informal conversation to answer your questions on Zoom or here. Please take a moment to greet the person next to you. And now our opening music.
So we're going to be interactive this morning. I have a tambourine, a maraca, we have wood blocks for you to play. I'll be singing a song by Jimmy Cliff called You Can Get It If You Really Want. Help yourself. Get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. But you must try, try and try, try and try. You succeed at last. Persecution you must bear. Win or lose, you got to get your share. Put your mindset on your dream. You can get it though hard it seems, yeah. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want, but you must try, try and try, try and try. You succeed at last. Rome was not built in a day. Opposition will come your way, but the harder the battle you see, it's the sweeter the victory, yeah. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want, but you must try, 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 try and try. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want, but you must try, try and try, try and try. You succeed at last. All right, we got the band back together.
That's a joyful noise. Hold your instruments and see if they fit in any place else. I'm not sure of any place it does. Our opening words are by the Reverend Laura Horton Ludwig. The wheel of the year has turned again. Once more the Thanksgiving season has arrived. How shall we sing our song of gratitude now? For what shall we give thanks?
For this moment, for friends near and far, for our breath, for love, for courage and clarity, for strength, for delight, for laughter, for beauty, for the tables round which we gather, for the food we enjoy with friends, seasoned with love and memory, for the sun and moon and stars in the sky, for the trees who have seen so much and still stand proud, stretching themselves to the sky, for the bright voices of children, for the wisdom of elders, especially those of the indigenous elders whose land we inhabit, whose history we have forgotten or never learned, and whose wisdom we sorely need to honor the earth and all her creatures, for actions that bless the world, for hard work that makes a difference, for music and art and celebration, for generosity, for compassion, for endurance, for joy, for hope.
For all these things we give thanks as we worship together. Our chalice lighting is a responsive reading. It's called We Are Not Alone by the Reverend Michael DeVernon Boblet. So your part is We Are Not Alone. We are not alone. We are this flame, ancient as the stars, new as the vulnerable spark. We are not alone. We are this chalice, rimmed by the spiral dance of searching. We are not alone. We are the light soaring, the shadow deepening, the dance between them. We are not alone. We are the heirs of the tribes and their fires, the healers and their circles. We are not alone. We are here for ourselves, we are here for each other, and we are not alone. Our hymn this morning is number 194, Faith is a Forest. It has Chinese origins. It's been approved by Stephen to give a try this morning, and I encourage everyone to stand as you feel willing or able, and I believe Kent is going to help us follow this beautiful hymn.
Faith is a forest in which doves play at night. Insight can hear the still small voice deep inside. Web of life, may this thread I weave. Strength and commitment to all I believe. Vision be my guide as I seek my way. Lead me into this tender day. Speak through me in all I do and say. Seeds of both meat strong are scattered in the air. Dignity shines undimmed by bigotry's glare. Web of life, may this thread I weave. Help me bear witness to all I believe. Justice be my guide as I seek my way. Lead me into this tender day. Speak through me in all I do and say. Fortune and fame ride the swift winds of change. Sorrow and pleasure seem united in dance. Web of life, may this thread I weave.
believe. Mercy be my guide as I seek my way. Lead me into this tender day. Speak through me in all I do and say.
I have a real story I want to start with for the first message, and it took place several years ago. My former husband and I, Don and I, were watching TV. It was the calmest night, no wind, no movement. We're just sitting there watching, and all of a sudden we hear this crack, this crash outside. And I looked out, and a huge oak tree fell across the road. So we scrambled and stopped traffic, and the police came in quick order. It was all out of the way. But if you looked at the base of that tree, it was crawling with ants. And I kept thinking about that one last crunch. That one ant that took the last bite and felled that huge oak tree. It's just a marvel. And I think Malcolm Gladwell would definitely call that the tipping point, right? So I was drawn to this writing called The Butterfly Effect by the Reverend Dana Kapasa Stivers, and you'll see why. Many of us have heard of the butterfly effect. The delicate flapping wings of a butterfly have the power to set molecules of air in motion, in turn moving more molecules of air, a tiny act that is eventually capable of affecting weather patterns on the other side of the planet. This notion comes from a concept within chaos theory called the butterfly effect. Simply, the butterfly effect refers to a phenomena in our world in which a small change in one place result in equal or greater changes elsewhere. This may seem crazy, a tiny butterfly changing global weather patterns. Not only is the butterfly effect a real scientific theory, but it's also an intriguing philosophical idea. I say all this because the butterfly effect affects the way I live my life and the decisions that I make in a way that no ideas about God ever have. I'm no meteorologist, nor am I well-versed in etymology, that's for sure. But ever since learning about the butterfly effect, I have been attracted to it because it demonstrates an important principle that is often forgotten. Namely, each of our actions has effects that are more profound than we think. Interconnection is a major theme found in nearly all of the world's religious and philosophical traditions. The interconnectedness of our universe is also one of the most significant revelations of physics. All components of matter are interconnected, interrelated, and interdependent. As Unitarian Universalists, we affirm and promote our responsibility to remain aware of interconnection through our seventh principle, respect for the interdependent web of all existence. Attention to interconnectivity reminds me, despite the many socio-political forces that work to divide us from one another, that I'm never alone in this world. It reminds me that each decision or action we make has reactions, and that those reactions reverberate as waves moving back and forth across our globe. This compels me to live my life aware of the consequences of my daily actions, from the purchases I make to personal interactions with others. I certainly do not always succeed, but I try. My awareness of interconnectivity and efforts to work against the illusion of division remain my most significant spiritual practice. This spiritual practice also gives me the ability to stand in awe of interconnection, in awe of the butterfly effect and the power that comes with it. On rare occasions, I am reminded to stop and appreciate the divinity of interconnectivity revealed before my very eyes. This to me is awe-inspiring. This to me is divine. May your roots grow deep, may your branches spread far, may you find the world to be a wonderful place and leave it better for those who follow. Our offering this morning is important to our congregation. We like to also at this time thank the other ways we contribute through our volunteers. John Andrews did hospitality this morning, and Linda Sherman was our greeter. The baskets going around, you'll see a note in each one, so you'll know whether to give it to the congregation and what goes on within these walls, or our greater giving outside of these walls. We will now have the gift of Stephen's music.
My sweet Lord, my Lord, my Lord, really want to see you, really want to be with you, really want to see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord. My sweet Lord, my Lord, my sweet Lord. Instruments okay. I really want to know you, I really want to go with you, I really want to show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord, my sweet Lord. My Lord, my sweet Lord, I really want to see you, I really want to see you, really want to see you, Lord, I really want to see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, my sweet Lord. My Lord, my Lord, really want to know you, really want to go with you, really want to show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord. My sweet Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, take so long, my Lord? My Lord, my Lord, my sweet Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord. Ooh, Brahma, ooh, Vishnu, ooh, Deva, Maheshwara, sweet Lord, ooh, my sweet Lord, my Lord, hallelujah. God's ministry, my Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my sweet Lord.
Thanks for those harmonies. Nice.
We set a time this side in our service to build community by sharing with each other our joys, sorrows, concerns, hopes. And so I open up this time of sharing, and those on Zoom can let Carl know if you have something you'd like to share too. And may the love and care of this community be with you in the week ahead, especially through our Thanksgiving. We are going to enter into a time of meditation. I have words by Eda Lorella, who was a member of the King Edward Street Chapel Unitarian in Cheshire, England. After I read her words and we have a little silence together, we will come out of it with number 396, which is probably pretty familiar. I know this rose will open. We'll sing it through twice. We have 3 rounds. Just make eye contact with the singer leader that's nearest you and follow them. So, okay. Did I say it all?
There's 2 parts. This side, you'll start with me, and then the second side will start.
Oh, it's two rounds.
parts.
2 parts, got it.
And 3 times through.
And
each.
3,
Yeah.
okay.
After the two together in unison, then we start and we'll do 3 rounds.
Okay, great. So, relax, take a deep breath, close your eyes if you feel so moved. Let us share together a time of prayer and quiet reflection. For some of us, this is a time for reaching out beyond ourselves to that which we call God. For some of us, this is a time to reach within ourselves, to our inner resources of strength and renewal. For some of us, this is a time for the quiet ordering of life. For some of us, this is a time to search for meaning in a troubled world. Whether we turn to that which transcends us, whether we look within our own selves, whether we find meaning or whether we fail, let us share this time together, valuing our fellowship, which does not impose belief in any one form. May we be glad of the diversity of our prayers. May we rejoice in the richness of spiritual adventure it gives our meeting. May we recognize the strength we offer to each other. Let us hold the silence together.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose. I know this rose. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. This rose will open.
I'm delighted to be with you today. It's another joy that I should, I should light a candle for. I was given the topic, faith. And it's a faith that's close to me. I am a Roman Catholic woman priest, and that's a story in itself, and I won't go into it. But I've been invited to speak to you on this topic of faith. Abraham Heschel tells the story of it's a beautiful story, of a Polish Jew who stopped praying because of what happened at Auschwitz. Later, however, he started to pray again. When asked, "What made you change your mind?" he answered, "It suddenly dawned upon me how lonely God must be. Look with whom God is left. I felt sorry for God. This attitude brings God and his people, her people, very close to each other, so that God is known by the people as the one who suffers with them. That's faith. Faith is believing when common sense tells you not to. That was spoken by the male protagonist in the film Miracle on 34th Street, an old film. But faith is the evidence of what you cannot see. So it calls upon our common sense. I want to direct your attention to one who lived that definition. Her name was Bernadette Soubirous. She lived in the southern western part of France in the 1800s, and her family was poor. Her father was an out-of-work miller who took odd jobs, which he felt were beneath him, to make money for his family. Bernadette's mother took in washing. They lived in one large room, which was once a jail cell. The inmates had been moved out of it because it was deemed unhealthy. Bernadette had a sister and 2 brothers. Her health was poor. She had asthma, which was exacerbated by the poor quality of the air in the former jail cell. Because of her asthmatic suffering, she missed a great deal of school time. One day, Bernadette's mother sent her other daughter, Jean, to collect firewood. Jean was to go with a friend. Bernadette wanted to go with them, but her mother tried to discourage her. Bernadette insisted. Although she was not a quick walker, nor could she carry much wood, she went with her sister and her sister's friend to a place where they could find plenty of wood. The place was called Massabielle, and part of it was a large garbage dump. There was a streamlet there, however, which the girls had to cross to get to where most of the wood was. The girls removed their shoes to cross the streamlet. Bernadette wanted to join them. They discouraged her because they said the water was too cold and they feared Bernadette would get sick and they would be held responsible. So Bernadette stayed behind and was drawn to a small niche in the rock, covered with brambles. Her eyes were drawn to the niche where she saw a lady standing. As Bernadette would later describe her, the lady wore a long white dress with a wide blue belt. She had a veil on her head and gold roses between her toes. She held rosary beads of pearls in her hands. Faith is believing when common sense tells you not to. Bernadette was captivated by the lady's appearance. She knelt down and took rosary beads from her own pocket and began to pray with the lady. This moment did not last very long. When Bernadette's sister and friend returned with the firewood, she pointed out the lady to them. They saw nothing. The lady had asked Bernadette to return for 15 days, and she agreed. Bernadette's mother worried about her and decided to go with her. Others began to follow her. Many stayed and prayed even though they saw nothing. Faith is believing when common sense tells you not to. One day, the lady told Bernadette to wash in the spring. Bernadette went toward the streamlet. The lady said, "Not the river, the spring." Bernadette repeated it, but she saw no spring. She began to dig in the earth with her hands. She filled her hands with wet earth and began rubbing it on her face. Her mother was mortified and tried to pull her away. Bernadette resisted at first, but relented. Her face covered with mud, she allowed her mother to take her home. In the meantime, others noticed that the place where Bernadette had been digging was filling with abundant water. Some of the men began to place cement blocks about it to contain the water in a pool. They had to enlarge them, as the pools, that is, as the water began to overflow. People began to bathe in the water. Some claimed healing. Church authorities were called upon to investigate without making pronouncements. Several pools were enclosed. Bernadette, however, no longer took advantage of the water. The 15 days passed, and the lady no longer appeared. Bernadette always referred to her as the lady, but the people began to believe that it was truly Mary, the mother of Jesus. Bernadette had seen the lady 18 times. Eventually, she joined the convent and became a nun, and died at quite a young age. Since then, hundreds have gone to bathe in the waters. Some have been healed. All, however, experience peace. The water has been tested many times. It's not heated, it's quite cold. But they never found any contaminants in it. Today, people flock to Lourdes, the town in France where this history took place, and Bernadette is venerated as a saint in the Catholic Church. Faith is believing when common sense tells you not to. It is the evidence of what you can't see. I've never been to Lourdes. My aunt went there and bathed in the water. She brought back a small bottle of water for me. I kept it for a long time until I had a serious case of influenza while pregnant, and I drank it. I got better, and my baby survived in spite of a collapsed lung and hyaline membrane disease. He is now 60 years old and has the strongest health that you ever felt. 7,000 people have reported experiential supernatural healings, but only 70 have been recognized, the latest in 2008. The pilgrimage season ends at the end of October. 6 million pilgrims visit Lourdes each year. It's one of the top visited sites in France and in the Christian world. Faith is believing when common sense tells you not to. For those who do not believe, no explanation is possible. For those who do believe, no explanation is necessary.
Thank you, Eda. Please stand as you feel willing or able to sing out loud number 347, Gather the Spirit.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the vine.
please remain standing for our benediction and extinguishing the chalice. Our benediction comes from Marta Flanagan. May we be inspired with gratitude for the wondrous gifts that are ours, and be filled with the resolve to share them with all who are in need. May we hold precious one another and the world, which provides us with sustenance and beauty, and may a song of thanksgiving be on our lips to the Creator and Sustainer of our life. Please join in words to extinguish the chalice in your order of service. We extinguish this flame
That's not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts
until we are together again. And you may be seated for our amazing postlude.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Singing along is good. That saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught 205 my heart to fear, and graced my fear released. How precious did the grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun.